kind of muscles you have? No. Bro, what kind of patterns you have? Or is it just aesthetics?
Welcome back to the training every single day. So I start off in the morning. The first thing I do, I try to get some sort of movement in. Try to move in a way that I can build off of in developing whatever I'm trying to develop in that particular day. So here, this is just to develop the looks, to get better looks in the legs. That's why I'm doing the calf raises. But there are some uses of the calves, especially in footwork, to be moving around on your feet, to have some mobility there. I tried to develop a springy footwork to move quickly with a good amount of control, very similar to a martial artist or sport fighter would do, to position themselves and have control to whatever it is. So that's why I'm doing the squat, the calf raises, mainly for the looks, but there are some positive transfer into other parts of movement. So every day, I'm really trying to improve the quality of the movement, and more recently, I've been trying to, build up some of the muscles and the tendons, of course. I spend a lot of time developing the joints, developing the tendons, but also developing the muscles are quite a useful endeavor because eventually you atrophy, so that's why you want to try to build those up. Here, doing some air chair practice, quite fun. I really do like doing some of these nice balances, some of the things that can show some mastery and some quality of movement that are quite enjoyable to do. And then I also got into a good way to train the splits or train the hips and the hamstrings, some of these Cossack squats and some movement flows. Really try to develop your own movements. Try to find some expression, some creativity. Work, I say work with the squat. Work with all four legs on the ground, all four limbs on the ground. Work with rolling. Learn some grounded acrobatics. Put your back on the ground. Crawl. Squat. Put your back on the ground. Squat, crawl. Really get between those three stances or ways to posture yourself against the ground. And then to get more advanced, add a jump. Add just the hands. Add one leg. Get some weights in there. But this is just a framework that you can use to develop your own kind of movements that can be done anywhere, that can develop yourself to get better at movement, to have more confidence, have more freedom when you move, and to help regulate yourself. So here, working some of the spinal waves, some spinal movements, and then some footwork. This is that kind of springy footwork I was talking about, where you need to move and position yourself with some footwork. Very good. Also trying to develop some explosiveness, some reactiveness into the ground to get to jump higher, to jump more reactively, where I don't have to do so much of a setup to do the backflip. So here's a jump, and then trying to do a backflip right after the jump to kind of simulate that reaction, the strength of that I need to do something, then do the backflip as a kind of an afterthought to really have the mastery of the movement. So right now I can only do the backflip if I, that being the only movement I put my mind to, and I really have to give it my full focus and have to have the setup. But I try to get better at the backflip, try to develop some of the explosiveness in the legs, the plyometrics, but that's still going to take some time. These kinds of movements that I'm doing here, I think, was really good at developing the legs. I really did feel a good amount of stimulus in the ankles and in the lower legs. There is a bit of paradox when it comes to training the legs, because you ideally want to train the muscles and the hips and the legs with weights. And with movement, you can train the joints, which I'd say are more important. Train the joints, train the tendons. but there is a bit lacking where you do need to train the muscles and to a certain degree. But I'm still going to try to figure it out, learn what you can do, how to improve just by moving myself. And hopefully you guys can get some help and value from this. So please leave a like, please comment, subscribe, hit the hype button, follow my Instagram, check the description. You can also see a number down there to call me, $1 per minute. But anyways, thank you sincerely for watching.